You guys have asked, and you guys shall receive. You guys wanted to know some tips for Shipment and how I play Shipment, so here we are. I'm also doing some Tier 1 gameplay today because I was going for my pistol calling cards. As you guys know, I have the Orion camo, which as a result requires you to get 1,000 kills using different camos. So like 100 with gold, 200 with platinum, 300 with polyatomic, and then 400 with Orion. So I've been doing this with the pistols, the riot shield, and the launchers, which my, overall kill-death ratio is yet again taking a hit. It's at a 3.35 and going down as I am using the secondary weapons and riot shields and all that kind of stuff. But it's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And today I want to go over some tips for Shipment, and because this is some solo play, I'm going to tell you guys how I like to play for solo play. So first things first, I'm playing hardcore. In hardcore, or I need to stop calling it hardcore because it's called Tier 1. Everyone that just started playing Call of Duty with Modern Warfare 2 is probably going to be quite confused if I say hardcore. So if you're new to the game, hardcore was a game mode that was Tier 1 in the past, but it was a less restrictive version of Tier 1. What I mean by this is you can still see some HUD elements, and here you can't see any HUD elements at all. So anyways, back to the commentary here. In Tier 1, I would use Ghost, Cold-Blooded, and I use EOD, or I keep calling it EOD, man. It's called Bomb Squad. And then I use Battle Hardened as my perk 1s, and my ultimate perk as well as my bonus perk. And then for equipment, I use a Molotov, which doesn't deal any extra damage in Tier 1, but it's just really good for throwing it at flags and objectives, especially if they are enemy occupied. And the reason for this is because it's obviously going to kill them if they're trying to stay on the point. So I use this for solo play and objective play and solo play and just trying to defend points, or trying to get people out of containers and all that kind of stuff. And then I use a flashbang because literally everybody in here uses a flashbang. And, you know, if someone wants to flash me, sometimes I'll just go ahead and flash them back. So the next tip I want to give you guys is the kill streaks that I run. So whenever I play in a party, I run the advanced UAV, and that is because the advanced UAV literally ends games. If you can keep them rolling, you're going to win no matter what, pretty much, because you know where the entire enemy team is going to be at all times, even if they are using Ghost. However, whenever I play solo, I do not use the advanced UAV because I simply find that running 3 non-lethal kill streaks just does not apply enough pressure on the map, and most of the time, my teammates are not even going to be utilizing that advanced UAV to their full potential as if I was playing with my friends. So, what do I run instead? I run the UAV, the counter UAV, and the VTOL jet. And if you really want to, you could also switch out the VTOL jet for the Overwatch helo. And the Overwatch helo is a great option because the Overwatch helo in Tier 1 is actually not going to get you a bunch of hit markers like it does in Core. So if you're playing Tier 1, the Overwatch helo will actually incinerate people as well as ping where enemies are. However, as for me, I like to use the VTOL jet just because it stays up for a very long period of time. It has more health, and overall it seems to make people a little bit more scared than the Overwatch helo does, because a lot of people, I guess, just think, oh, the Overwatch helo, what a joke, because, I mean, it's a good streak, but it's nowhere near as powerful as the VTOL jet whenever it comes to overall damage and getting kills and all that kind of stuff. So the UAV and the counter UAV are extremely important. Even if you're playing Core, you know, I still recommend this because keeping these up and trying to get these as fast as you can is going to be extremely important. And the reason it's important is because in Shipment, the first person, or first team, I should say, to get a UAV has a significant advantage on the map because you can see pretty much the entire map without having to use the bird's eye perk. So you pretty much know where all of your enemies are going to be until people start earning Ghost. Now, if I was playing this map with Core, right, and it's not Tier 1, so there's going to be more health and all that kind of stuff, I would switch out the Ghost perk for Quick Fix, and the reason for that is because Quick Fix is just insane. Being able to regenerate health after every single kill instantly is a huge advantage compared to having Ghost, in my opinion, especially if you're running the counter UAV. But here in Tier 1, it's a little bit different. and that is why I am doing things a little bit differently here. So another thing is, whenever you are playing solo, sometimes games are just not winnable. I dropped 73 kills in Team Deathmatch earlier. I'll put the picture up on the screen, and lost the game. I mean, if I'm dropping 73 and losing the game, I don't really think there's much more I could have done other than if I had better streaks on or something. But at that point, I'm just going to cut my losses, because that is not my problem that we lost that game, okay? If you look at the team's balancing, it is pretty clear that it was a very one-sided game, and that I had to overcompensate for team balancing algorithm. Now, on the other hand, one nice thing, the reason I was shooting down his VTOL, by the way, is because I wanted to get my VTOL in. It's not because I care about that VTOL being up. I'm running cold-blooded, which means the VTOLs are going to ignore me, and cold-blooded, it's not really that good on Tier 1. I would say more so in hardcore, or I'm sorry, it's not that good on Shipment in core, but in Tier 1, cold-blooded is better because you can stay alive longer, because people generally play a bit slower in Tier 1 than they do in core, because in Tier 1, you only have 30 health, whereas in core, you have 100 health, so people are going to play a bit more aggressively in core compared to Tier 1, so that's why whenever I am playing Tier 1, I will be running cold-blooded, because if my enemies do get a VTOL jet, I still want to be able to be running around rent-free on the map, getting UAVs and counter-UAVs to try to keep their radar blocked all game if they are also trying to earn UAVs. And like I said, this is especially even more powerful in Tier 1, because the radar is not on by default. You have to earn it by earning a UAV, or an advanced UAV. So that is why the counter UAV is insanely overpowered in here, and a lot of the times I find it doesn't even really get shot down, so by the time I earn the next one, I'm just going to keep countering their UAVs all game. Now, of course, in core, it might be a little bit of a different story, but in Tier 1, that is what I do as my strategy. So this strategy still applies to core, but obviously it's going to be a little bit different because there's more health, which means there's more bullets to kill on certain guns, and you're going to want a gun for core that has fast handling, as well as fast handling and high damage. Something like a mini-back, or pretty much any SMG for that matter, is really good because of their handling speeds. LMGs, other than the RPK, are pretty low tier on this map because you're just not really going to be able to ADS in time, especially since the spawns are really broken on this game in Shipment. And I'm going to go over a video tomorrow, and it will be a last Shipment video for a while because I have been showing Shipment quite a bit, but I just didn't want this video to be too long, so I will be going over why the spawns are broken in Shipment, how InfinityWard could possibly fix the spawns in Shipment, but at the same time, I highly doubt InfinityWard is going to do it because Vanguard, with Sledgehammer Games, they had the same issue, and guess what? They did not fix it. So, I highly doubt it's going to happen. Shipment is really just a map of spawn traps, and staying alive on Shipment is quite random. The best thing I could tell you is your reflexes and your overall gun skill matter the most, as well as your connection whenever it comes to this map. There's not really much secret sauce as to being able to go on longer streaks and being able to stay alive a lot longer because you have a high chance of dying to a horrible spawn. It's pretty much UAV simulator, you know, whichever team is going to have UAVs has the significant advantage on the map, and that is pretty much how this map plays. So, if there's any tips I can give you guys, your loadout matters the most, and then it just comes down to your raw gun skill and your overall awareness and pretty much understanding the spawns, which, like I said, we will be doing that in a separate video because that is about 10 minutes of its own. I already have that recorded, and you guys will be able to see that, and you'll understand why it is so broken. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is a little slaughterhouse with the 50 GS handgun. Absolutely fun match. Dropped almost 160 kills with it. I believe I had 159 to 38, died 38 times, which is pretty common for Shipment, you know. This map, like I said, yet again, it is just a map that really just comes down to spawn traps and not much more. So anyways, being mobile on the map is one of the most important things you can do. If you guys are just sitting still, not moving around much, especially in core, I mean, Tier 1s, like I said, it's a little bit of a different experience because people do play slower, but in core, if you aren't moving around constantly, you will get rolled. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoy Shipment, and drop me a rating on the channel, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, have a great day.
Yeah, 160 kills, one game. It's fucking crazy.